Starting recording. Thank you.
Thanks. So, are you able to see screen?
Yes, we can.
So, thanks, folks. So, hope you had a great lunch, but not so much that you'll fall asleep post lunch session. Always is a challenge, but I'll try to keep it interactive. I'll try to keep it crisp because what we saw pre-lunch today were little bit of theory, good amount of examples. We will see a good framework today.
True,
And
true.
uh, in the field stage, which Dr. Ram spoke, in the first step of design thinking process, we saw a couple of design thinking tools. One of them was user needs, which we saw. Then comes L0, which you also saw. Along with that, stakeholder mapping is a very, very important tool. It comes in handy during the field stage of the process. And there is a science behind why we should apply the stakeholder mapping. Also, there is a framework called CATWO, which I will duly explain as we move on. But to kind of ensure you all are awake, let's do this an activity. Can you see this ticket? All of you?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so I am a big fan of IRCTC. Mind you, I come from a technical background and I myself did a good amount of coding. I have never seen an app in the world that has flawless business logic or coding logic as IRCTC. Imagine lakhs and thousands of people using it day in and day out. Hundreds of trains, sorry, not hundred, thousands of train running, passenger trains, express train. People book tickets on the go, people book tickets at train stations, people book tickets to travel agents, yet I haven't seen any two passengers fighting for the same seat. I at least haven't seen in my lifetime, neither I heard about any two passengers booking on the app fighting, okay, I also got this ticket, I also got this ticket. No, they might get confused. Oh, this is D1 coach, that is D2 coach, S1 coach. They might confuse that. But never, I haven't seen or neither I have heard two passengers fighting for the same ticket. I am a great fan of IRCTC. Yes, there were flaws when it came to the maintenance issues, or probably not maintenance issue. Yet there were flaws when it came to many people trying to book the ticket, but the process was slow and all. But gradually they have improved now. But why particularly IRCTC? Because it's a app or it's a service which we all use, which on a regular basis, day in day, while we travel frequently. So imagine that you are a frequent traveler of railways, Indian railways, but you are one of those customers who pay ticket at a subsidized price, who pay tickets at a cheaper price because you are either an elder citizen or what I can say, or you are a student or you are from sports quota. You don't pay the ticket at a normal price. You avail the ticket at a subsidized price. Now, go through this ticket. I'll give you a minute, probably for all. Can you find something offensive here? Ticket, you are a railway customer, or you are a frequent traveler for Indian Railways. You like it, but you don't pay the same price as most of other people pay. Probably you are an elder citizen or a retired Jawan or a customer from sports quota. You are a sports person who travel at a subsidized price. Can you see something offensive here?
Written as children too, because age is 28, 27, and here it is reflected child too.
No, 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 no.
Okay, okay, let me go.
So I think if you can see that 43% of their fare is borne by common citizen of the country. For me, it looks like offensive.
Okay, thanks, Dr. Manoj. Okay, but in case I don't know whether ticket is there some graphic issues and all, because the line that he quoted may or may not be that much clearly visible. But yes, this is a snapshot someone took while they tried to book online. So Dr. Manoj has given that answer. Are you aware that particular statement? Does anyone else have any other opinion or any other feedback? Why would it feel offensive?
Because sir, this is pointing for these senior citizens, sir. It is indicating rather. They are. It is showing that they are being benefited. Their share is borne by somebody else. So all these senior citizens may not like.
Exactly. Bang on, sir. Bang on, Dr. Manoj, and bang on, Alok Mishra, sir.
Thank you, sir.
That
Thank you.
that particular statement comes across, or rather, I'll use the correct past tense. That sentence came across. Now, let me go back to this particular story. The intention of IRCTC was to make the common people feel pride, make the common people feel proud. The common people feel or give a sense of purpose that whatever the taxes we pay, whatever the taxes we give to the central government, that taxes is helping funding Indian Railways. That taxes is fueling and enabling the Indian Railways. So the IRCTC wanted to make the common people aware that yes, I am funding Indian Railways. I am also part of Indian Railways. So it was, they wanted to communicate this with a little bit of pride, little bit of what I can say. I am also part of Indian Railways, but it came across offensive because, as Dr. Manoj and Alok said, rightly scared, not all the people or not all the customers, not all the passengers pay at the normal or the market price or the price that they do it while booking. Some sections of people, some sections of regular customer, regular passengers pay at a subsidized price. This is where the statement becomes very offensive, as rightly pointed out, that they feel I am being funded by someone else. Imagine, just imagine that you are a retired Jawan, you are a retired army person who have dedicated years and years for life, put their years and years of life at the border, put everything at stake, went to the border, fought, and you are a frequent traveler. But one fine day, you find see this, it'll become offensive. So this happened exactly a couple of years back. It became sort of a little controversial issue. Later on, IRCTC came out, the communication department came out with a clarification saying that this was meant to inculcate pride among the common people, that common people also should feel they are a part of funding railways. But if at all the statement comes off offensive, we kindly will withdraw it. So, but since then, I have also booked tickets many times. I haven't this seen. So the message is a small statement. I mean, the small statement, even with a very genuine purpose and intention, can affect some or the other stakeholder. This is what exactly we'll discuss today, and also apply a scientific base or scientific rationale with the help of a framework in stakeholder management. A very important tool. While solving wicked problems, very important to identify who are all the stakeholders will be affected by whatever you are trying to do. You are trying to solve a problem, who will get affected? You are trying to do something innovative. I mean, while you are doing something innovative means you are solving some or the other problem. Morning also, we saw many umpteen examples where some or the other problem was solved because someone tried to do something innovative. So while solving problems, who all will get affected? While doing something innovative, who all will get affected? While you are transforming something, means you are doing a change in status quo. Who all people will likely to be get affected? All of them fall under, or all of them can be called stakeholder. But while we discuss this stakeholder management, and when we do multiple workshops with all kind of audience, corporates to students, faculty, social, even government, one cardinal or one big sin that they make is, who is a stakeholder? They tell customer, and then they move on. Customer is a stakeholder, management is a stakeholder, employee is a stakeholder. That's it. They finish the stakeholder exercise. This is a big sin. This is a big fallacy which we should avoid, especially doing stakeholder management. Calling customer as one stakeholder should be avoided, because a customer is not only a customer. There are different types of customers. For example, let's take an example. Again, I'll go back to IRCTC. So who are all different customers? the elderly. Their needs, their interests will be different compared to others. For example, an elderly person, for their interest or their wishes when it comes to the IRCTC booking app would be, okay, the app should, elders being elders, they may or may not be so much adept to technology. So their user needs will be different, easy to use, easy to understand the app, or in case while boarding the train, they might need support of someone, they prefer a lower seat, in case they are traveling with a sleeper berth or sleeper coach, their needs will be different. Of course, they might also prefer subsidized rates. Sports person are also one section, one entity who avail at a subsidized price, but their user needs will be different when it comes to the elders. Sports person normally being millennials, they'll, or even teens, they'll quickly be, for them, however complicated the app will be, since they are finding in, since they are very much adept, very much comfortable in using the smartphone and all, for them app and all is not a problem. Their user needs will be different. They may want to go from place 1 to place B, so train should be available, there is match going on somewhere, I need to kind of have a train that's on time, that reaches, so their user needs will be different. Physically challenged, their user needs will be again totally different, whether there is a slope or whether there are stairs, or I'm not able to understand whether a particular train is there or not there, or is there a comfortable way in which I can board the train because I'm physically challenged. Their user needs will be different. Calling customer as one stakeholder is a big no, because a customer has different shades, different layers. So each different type of customer will become a stakeholder. And each different type of customer, we call it as a cluster persona. Because elders is one group, that's one particular type of customer. Or widows of martyrs, their users and needs will be different. So that's another cluster. Sports person, that's another cluster. Physically challenged, that another cluster. So these are all different clusters which fall under customer. Each such cluster is a stakeholder, because all of them will have different needs. Take an example of a typical academic framework. Who is your customer? Student. But is customer a student or stakeholder? Definitely. But bracketing a student as a customer it should be avoidable, because are all the students like same? No. A student coming from a rural part, he'll be in a different frame of mind. A student coming from urban college, he'll be in a different frame of mind. His user needs will be different. His persona will be different. A student coming from, let's assume you are a college in Maharashtra, and many of them are from, many of the students from Maharashtra. Now, all the students from Maharashtra, do they have the same persona? No. Or probably a student from Vidarbha will come with a different background. A student coming from Western Maharashtra, his needs or aspirations might be different. Or a student whose parents both are working, his needs or aspirations would be different. A student whose parents are business or who own a family business or coming from an agricultural background, his needs would be different. So each such group of students, for example, urban student, or student from Vidarbha, student from West Maharashtra, student from Konkan, all of them each one of them, is a cluster persona. So how exactly cluster persona will help you find those unstated needs, or how can cluster persona, how you can arrive at cluster persona, we'll see together. We'll see tomorrow. But the intention behind stakeholder management here, intention behind putting up this IRCTC and understanding stakeholder management is, let's not bracket a big group like customer as one stakeholder. Let's try to find different shades or different layers in which we can decompose. Decompose is the right word. Decompose different types of customers, and each such type of customer will become a stakeholder. So on screen you can see different types of IRCTC customers, and I am saying different types of IRCTC customers who purchase tickets at a subsidized rate. If we were to group normal customers, the normal customers will be different. For example, teenagers, their needs will be different. Corporate customers, their needs would be different. Or working people who will prefer to and fro trains. That I have to reach to Mumbai for a particular meeting. I stay at, let's say, Pune, so I will prefer a to and fro train so that I can reach in Mumbai around 10 o'clock, do my work, do finish my work, come back in the evening, so that night I'll again be my home. So corporate customer, a working customer is different. Corporate customers, their persona will be different because corporate customers will book tickets in bulk. Daily they'll be getting requests from employees. So per day they'll book tickets in hundreds or thousands probably if it's some big organization. So they'll prefer discounts. They'll prefer short duration train at to long distances. So the more we decompose a stakeholder, the more we identify a particular type of customer, the better it is during stakeholder management because the needs and wishes, expectations from each stakeholder are different. Any questions?
No, I think things are quite clear, Ramnathji. You can please go ahead.
Thanks. Now, again, I spoke about IRCTC because we all use it frequently. You will relate. Now, take an example of Aadhaar here. Again, I'll quote a general example. Probably I'll quote an example related to government because we all are comfortable. We all use it. We all know how things work. So, who is a customer for Aadhaar? Let's assume I am a part of the Aadhaar implementation team, Minister. I want to do a stakeholder mapping. So, mind you, these are the few limited stakeholders I could put on a slide. I was not able to incorporate because slides, this is limitation. I can put only a particular amount of content on slide. Plus, these are indicative. The more I can go, yes, the more down I can go. But indicatively, who are all the customers who use normally Aadhaar? The central government. And within central government, there are Minister of Finance, Minister of IT, Minister of Labor, Home, Railways, different ministries use Aadhaar. Now, the needs and wishes of each ministry will be different because each ministry is different. So, each of them is a stakeholder. State government, can call it as a chunk of stakeholder, but within that, again, there are different ministries. State ministry is different, central ministry again way of working is different. So both again are different chunks of stakeholders. Then comes the government bodies which are different from the ministry, the income tax department, though they report to some other ministry, or they might not even report. For example, election commission may use Aadhaar, income tax department uses Aadhaar, land and revenue departments which fall under a particular, I guess, home ministry, they use it, passport offices use it, etc. So the government or the constitutional anointed bodies, those are another chunk of stakeholder. Now, public, the biggest consumer, but is public the only consumer of Aadhaar? No. Government bodies, central, state, ministry, those bodies are there. Within public also, there are different kind of people who make use of Aadhaar or citizens of India. Yes. NRIs. Yes. Even I also came to know a couple of days back that even NRIs can also apply for Aadhaar. But what are the needs and wishes of NRIs behind applying Aadhaar might be different from common citizens while gaining Aadhaar. Similarly, OICs again, overseas Indian citizens, if I'm correct. OICs, they can also apply for Aadhaar, but their needs, their wishes will be different compared to NRIs versus citizens. But now we spoke about these four who will be the customers, who will be using the services of Aadhaar. Are these the four? No, probably there will be few more. Now, I have to manage the entire Aadhaar application. So, who are all the stakeholders when it comes to the application? Software vendors are there, the consultant partners are there, the training partners. Once we develop the software about Aadhaar updation, Aadhaar enrollment, and all, accordingly, training has to be provided to different people who will sit at different Aadhaar enrollment centers and do it. So, that's also one chunk of stakeholder. The network provider. Aadhaar update, Aadhaar changes, OTP and all happens at a very real time. Now, all of you know. Network providers to ensure things work smoothly. That's also another important stakeholder. legal. Aadhaar when it comes to privacy, Aadhaar when it comes to confidential of information, matters do go into the legal jurisprudence there. So Indian judiciary also becomes a very, very stakeholder. The Parliament of India, Aadhaar laws, Aadhaar itself is a different law. That also becomes an important stakeholder here. So beyond customers, these are all the other two stakeholders, the application point of view and the legal point of view. Media now. Any change you do has to be communicated to people. For example, let's assume there is a small change in the format of Aadhaar. A 12-digit Aadhaar might become 13-digit. Can you just imagine going by the screen how many stakeholders will get affected? Just imagine the complexity. And since now we are speaking about computerized, imagine to what level of software changes we might have to do in case a 12-digit Aadhaar becomes 13-digit Aadhaar. Each and every stakeholder will get affected, and media becomes handy to communicate that change. Within media, there are private broadcasters, the public broadcasters, and the Minister of Information Broadcasting. So that's also becomes a very, very important stakeholder. Public services. We all, citizens of India use public services, direct account transfer, gas services, ration services, provident fund services. We use different services. So these service providers, they also become a very, very important stakeholder. On the top left, you see I have marked it in some different color. So all the stakeholders that you can see, or the chunk of stakeholders that you have seen that are marked in this sort of blue color, they use it mandatorily. You may call them as primary stakeholders because they use it mandatorily, or they are getting involved at a direct level. But let's take an example: airport security check-in or a railway ticket collector, whose job is to ensure whether a particular person is traveling as a genuine Aadhaar or not, in case the person decides to show Aadhaar. But he also will become an important stakeholder because, as I said, let's assume a 12-digit Aadhaar will become a 13-digit Aadhaar. Then the railway ticket collector may or may not be updated. He's accustomed, he's habituated to only see a 12-digit Aadhaar card and allowing the passengers, or airport security check-in, in case someone shows Aadhaar, they are accustomed, they're habituated to see a 12-digit Aadhaar. Let's assume the change for there is a format change, 12 becomes 13. Then that stakeholder will also get affected. So stakeholder mapping becomes very, very, very critical when you do a design thinking exercise during the problem solving, so that whatever small change you are doing, even if it will be one sentence like what IRCTC did, is going to affect some or the other stakeholders. And the cardinal sin, the primary thing that we have to avoid is bracketing someone as customer. No, the better we create chunks of customer, the better we identify a particular group of customer, call it as cluster persona, that becomes a stakeholder. Because again, I repeat, the needs and wishes of each chunk will be extremely different compared to others. Now, is there a framework to do a better stakeholder management? Yes. If we don't apply this particular framework, will we end up with less stakeholder? May or may not. If you don't apply framework, normal way is to discuss, come together as a team, prepare an L0, and based on L0 you can identify stakeholder. Okay, how to do how can L0 identify stakeholders? I'll also demonstrate later on. Aadhaar is an again example. But more than putting in L0, apart from discussion, is there a framework that will help us to identify stakeholders in a much better and a much scientific way so that we don't miss anything? Yes. That framework is called CATWO, CATWO analysis, and it comprises of 6 different components. Now, some of you, I assume, I saw the participant list which Dr. Manoj had, do come from a management background, and especially in areas of strategy or business management, framework plays a very, very important role, and CATWO analysis, I'm sure, is covered. So exactly is CATWO analysis? It's a framework for better stakeholder management. And before we before we actually see what CATWO analysis
May I
is,
request all of you to kindly keep yourself in mute mode? Sorry, sir. Please go ahead. Okay, sir. Sir, I will mute all, and you can unmute yourself and come in. Yes, sir. Please go ahead, sir.
okay, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Huh. Okay, so before we actually see what are the 6 components of CATWO, let's kind of go through these couple of slides to understand what CATWO is and who was the origin behind it. So, David Smith, he was working for Soft Systems Methodology, and he kind of, SSM was a consultant for solving organizational problems, and he was working there. In 1975, he came up with this analysis framework. He tried primarily up to identify stakeholders in solving problems as part of SSM. How did he visualize this CATWO? How did he thought it'll help? It'll help enlist all the stakeholders who would be affected while solving problems, and importantly to understand their perspective, because each stakeholder has a different perspective. Many a times when we discuss as a team, we tend to add our own personal biases and beliefs of problem solvers. As we do team exercises, seniors share their own point of view, juniors though may not agree, but since it comes from a very senior perspective, we just ignore it, or we kind of tend to assume, sorry, seniors being seniors, it comes from within experience, even though it might be wrong, we assume it's correct, we move on. Or in case 2 people are there, both of them contribute to have their own personal biases and belief, so we end up missing some stakeholder. But because of a personal bias and belief, okay, this particular stakeholder is not important, let's ignore it. That stakeholder in the end might turn out to be a problem. Or because of a personal bias or a personal belief, we feel this particular stakeholder might behave like this. He may or may not behave. CATWO analysis kind of helps to critically avoid these personal bias, because we go and inspect each element here. Another bigger picture with regards to constraint, challenges, possible outcomes, and their effect on stakeholders. Normally, we only discuss stakeholders in terms of my organization, my employee, customer, investor. That's it. Many times in problem solving exercise, we limit ourselves. CATWO helps to unearth the bigger picture with regards to what constraints you might face while doing a challenge, or what are the challenges we might face, how those challenges might have a positive or negative outcome, and how it will affect the stakeholder. Fourth, and a very important point, understand the conflicts between stakeholders, their roles. It might happen that a particular stakeholder might have 2 different roles. This might lead to 2 different possible actions because he has a conflict, or he or she, that particular state, the particular person has a conflict. So, which is the best way we can park a particular stakeholder? CATWO analysis will help to arrive. Where is Yoon again? Solving complex problems or changing the existing system in an or bringing an impact that will change the system in a drastically variety of way, or to enable change management for better adoption of change. Whenever management, whenever a management organization management does a particular change will appeal to some section of people, but to some section of people it might not even affect, or change might affect to everyone. Some people will accept it, some people will be hesitant. So how can we smoothen change management? By ensuring or communicating the change in a proper way so that all the stakeholders are on board. Also using a typical project management, predominantly in IT and other sectors. And yes, to launch a concept that will change radically. So, what are the 6 elements of CATWO? C is the customers. Those who are currently facing a problem, for whom you will be working on your solution. So, people who face a particular problem, or for people who are going to develop something, who will be using, those stakeholders are your customers. Those will be using your solution. They fall under customers. Those will be directly affected by your idea. They fall under the C. There is the customer section. I'll explain with an example, with a very, very relatable example, so that you'll understand who all fall under customer or who all under actors. So customers, very simple. Who will be using your solution, who will be directly affected by a transformation, or who will directly be availing your idea, using your idea. Those stakeholders fall under customers. Actors. You have an idea, you have a transformation, you want to change something. There will be few section of people who will be actually implementing or running your idea. Those stakeholders are your actors, enablers. Then comes transformation. Now, transformation per se here doesn't involve any writing stakeholder here, but transformation, it is advisable that you write briefly about why, what, and how of the problem and how your solution is going to change it. The intention behind writing the why, what, and how is you yourself will get clarity, and you will think to imagine or visualize more stakeholders which you might not have. So transformation per se does not involve writing any stakeholder, but writing the why, what, and how of the transformation or the idea that you have in mind. So CAT, customers, actors, and transformation. Now, worldview. Again, I repeat, many times we do problem solving exercise, we limit ourselves to customer, management, investors, government, that's it. But worldview is very important to identify and list down those stakeholders who might be indirectly affected, who might be least affected by your by your change, by your transformation. So these stakeholders are beyond your current system, but who might be indirectly affected in some other way. That's worldview. That's why that's why it has been called worldview. Beyond the system, thinking of the bigger picture here. Now you have your customers, you have your actors, you know your idea, you have written in transformation, you also have visualized the people who will be even indirectly affected, but owners, very, very important. So stakeholders who have the permission to start, stop, pause, cancel your transformation or solution. The owners are those set of people who act as a leader or a guide to you, who have the authority to start your transformation, stop it, pause it, or even cancel it, or even enable it, or even power it. These are also very, very important stakeholders which you have to enlist. And finally, constraints. Many times our solutions get hit by a roadblock. It get hit by a constraint. It get hit by something which you don't even anticipate. Better we anticipate it and write it down and identify who are all particular stakeholders, their actions or their policies might come across as a roadblock or a constraint or a hurdle or a speed breaker in my action. So here we list down constraints and possibly the solution. So CATWOE, that's a CAT. It's a framework for stakeholder identification. Now I have explained you the concept. Let's take an example, a very, very, very practical, simple example. Yeah, you imagine you are a travel booking application, you are a company or startup, you are the CEO of a travel booking application. Like any you can consider, Make My Trip or GoIbibo, Yatra. You are a CEO of that startup and you want to launch an application into the market. So it will be used by lakhs and lakhs, crores of people, not only probably India, even beyond outside. It will be linked with many, many service providers, railways, airlines, bus. Let's assume you want to do it. So who are all the stakeholders you would, as a CEO, need to consider while you are doing that change, while you're doing it innovatively, while you're doing a transformation? So customers. who will be the customers of your travel booking app or the application? Passengers who want to travel. But have I restricted myself by only writing passengers? No. I have, like I said, decomposed my passengers into small chunks or small clusters, because the needs and aspirations will be different. Seniors, for example, in case you are that working in case there is the app, the seniors will want to have the app in a much better UI friendly way, because seniors are new to technology, may not be so much adapted to technology. Their needs, their wishes will be different, or their traveling preferences might be different compared to students. They are good in technology, they are very well adapted in technology, they own the gadgets. Their preferences from the app will be different, their user needs will be different. Millennials, their preferences will be different. They might go to want cheaper deals while traveling to exotic locations. They might want to have more coupons, more discounts, different. Married couples, their preferences from your app will be different. They might not be wanting to see too much of travel to and fro for commercial locations or the business hubs. They might want to see good deals for resorts, or they might want to see vacations. Their needs will be different. Working, again, I told you, they might need preferences of easy to and fro travel. Start early in the day, do the work, come back and finish. Corporate, their needs and their preferences will be again different. They may want bulk deals, bulk ticket booking. So passenger is the stakeholder, but overall different smaller chunks within passengers, these are ones. And then travel agent who book the tickets. Now travel agent, please make a very important note that travel agent is also customer. He'll also come, the travel agent will also come somewhere else. Now your app may or may not be directly used by customers. Customers many times also go to a known travel agent who they trust. Those are also your customers, travel agents, who will book ticket on your app only, but on behalf of passengers. Indian Railways, state provider and state bus provider and private providers, airlines. They are also your customers, because they also will be using your app. They also will be launching, they also will be promoting cheaper deals, good deals through your app, or even discounts during particular seasons through your app. Hotels and resorts, again, a good chunk of customers. That's another stakeholder. Banks and payment gateways, very, very, very important customer, because for banks, this is a good way to make money, right? Good way to increase transactions. For per transaction, they'll charge. Banks and payment gateways. So these are also your customers who will directly be using your solution. That's the app, and many others. I have restricted myself to put here, else the list can go on. So these are your customers. Now, who is the actor? Like I said, actor is the one who will actually enable or run your idea. So basically here, if I were to visualize, it will be the organization, the market. When I say organization, I'm not putting employee or organization as a stakeholder. There are different chunks of employee who will actually enable that app, run that app into your market, promote it. That will be part of the marketing team. They will promote your app. Sales team, they'll work with bus provider, service provider, railway provider, banks and payment gateways to ensure you get that app gives a good deal to passengers. Customer service team, many times there is some other issue. So the customer service team is also an important stakeholder, because they'll run this app, they'll function this app, they'll enable this app. The HR team, their persona will be different. And the design team, the design of the app, very, very important. The team that designs the app, and your partners. So these are different stakeholders within actors who will actually run and enable the app. Now, transformation. This particular phase, like I said, doesn't involve writing any stakeholder, but it involves writing the idea. That as a CEO, you feel that the existing apps are looting the people. They don't have tie-ups with good hotels, resorts. They're not providing lucrative deals for the customers. Instead, they're charging very high commission prices. Additionally, the look and feel of the application is also not poor, and not everyone is comfortable using it. So as a CEO, I want to launch an app in the market that will provide good options for customers. That will form by forming tie-up with many quality airlines, bus providers, resorts. Also, I won't charge too high commission prices for customers, but instead I'll provide a good look and feel of the app, because I feel the good look and feel, the usability, the discounts that I'll give, that will automatically spread the word of mouth. More people will come. The more people will come, I'll definitely make more profits. And the popularity app will be so compelling that banks will be forced to provide attractive deals and offers. So this is the transformation I want to give into the market. I want to make ticket booking a very pleasant and a smooth experience. In the pursuit of this transformation, these are my customers who will be using, and these are my actors. Now, stakeholder number 4, or stakeholder category 4, the world view. Travel agents. Now, travel agents come here because they are also your customers, but travel agents might also get indirectly affected, right? Because if the app is very, very simple to use, why will someone go to a travel agent and pay him the commission, right? Travel agent won't work it for free unless until he or she, the travel agent, is a relative or a very good acquaintance. They'll also charge. But if the look and feel of the app is very good, travel agents also might get affected, indirectly affected, because they'll see a dip in business. Small investors. I'm not writing big institutional investors here. I'm writing small investors. Let's assume you launch the app, it goes into the market, you'll get subscribe share and all. People will purchase small shares. When the app does very well good, when it comes to share, profit. Else, they might not. So small investors also might be indirectly affected. Now, folks who check tickets, there is a train ticket collectors or gate security staff at airport, check-in attendants at hotel resort. They are also very, very important stakeholders, because mind you, when you, let's assume you book an ticket by Make My Trip or book a ticket by GoIBibo, you book at a hotel and you go there, you will show this app. You will actually go to your app, log in, show to your trips or your recent transactions, go and show. If the look and feel of that particular menu itself is very bad, it will be a bad experience for the people who do the check-in. Or a gate security staff at airport, if you book a ticket by Make My Trip, you actually show the Make My Trip screen to them. So very, very important that the look and feel of the app should not only be very appealing to the customers, but to even those folks who are get involved in seeing or visualizing the ticket. And operating systems of mobile, Google Play, iOS Store, they might not be directly affected, but they are very, very important, because the app that your design team is going to make should be compatible here on this. Now, owners. Who are the owners when it comes to your app? Owners are the people or the leaders who have the ability to pause, cancel, or do a change, or suggest, or even enable, power your transformation. Venture capitalist. There is a particular reason I have quoted small investors here in Worldview, because may not be directly affected, but indirectly affected. People having, people having 10 shares, 15 shares, they come here. But venture capitalist, angel investors who own a big amount of stocks, who own a big amount of stakes, they are the owners, because in case they like your transformation, they like your working of that, they might fund it. In case they find it non-appealing, they might even stop it. They might even pull back. Their stakeholders or their user needs will be different. Mentors. Many a times, most of the startups, they have some or the other mentor. Like Ratan Tata is a mentor to someone, or Narayan Murthy is a mentor to someone else is a mentor to someone. Mentors, they also are very, very important stakeholder. Board member. Any organization will have a board. Board members will have their different user needs. They'll have their different stakes when it comes to functioning. Hello?
No, sir, we can hear you, sir. We can hear you.
Okay. I saw a message in chat that
Yeah, I could see that. But we can hear. I think we can get some more feedback on that. I could see you. I could hear you properly, sir.
Okay, good to know now. So, board members, every
You are
organization.
audible, sir.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
Board members are also a very important stakeholder because their needs and wishes will be different compared to the other owners. SEBI and other similar organizations will also have a close watch on you. They also own. Or if you feel there is some mismanagement going on, they may intervene, they may pause, or they may even cancel. Auditors, again, they have the power. Now, Play Store, iOS or Google Play Store or iOS Play Store, I have listed it twice. I have listed it here as well as I have listed it here. And why have you listed it here? And again, it comes later on because let's assume your app is very, very poor and people give a very, very bad feedback, rating of 1 star, and all. If more such rating comes, Play Store will automatically remove that app from Play Store. So they also own it. They also are the owner. So owners basically are those people who can have the control over your transformation. And finally, constraints. Competitors will be indirectly affected, but competitors might even form a lobby together. 2-3 competitors who might feel threatened, they'll form a lobby. Now, whether they might try to hinder, they might try to put a roadblock into transformation. Definitely, those are constraints, but definitely those are stakeholders. Now, do you wish to engage with them? May or may not. That's your call. But it's a matter of fact, you have to enlist a stakeholder and identify competitor as a stakeholder. Now, technical constraints that might come. As I said, removal of app from Play Store because of poor rating. Employee unions. Let's take an example. Some of the other poor treatment allegation comes from the workforce. So employee union might also become a stakeholder there. You might need to interact with them one day or the other. Or let's assume there is a change in policy that will affect investment. You are closely working with venture capitalists, angel investors and all, but there is a change in some policy related to it. So you will receive less funding or your funding might get affected. So the government becomes a very, very stakeholder. Government, which I might not have listed here, the people in government becomes a stakeholder then. So in environmental constraints, the more we sit as a team, the more we discuss and deliberate and write as constraint, the more we can visualize. Okay, suddenly someone might become a stakeholder. So what to do with a stakeholder, we'll come back later. What's the person of the stakeholder, we'll come back later. But before that, it's very important to pinpoint and identify that particular stakeholder. So this is CATWO, CATWO.
Sir, if you allow, I just want to make one. What about the procedural approval required, licensing and all? Where we can put all these things?
Probably you can put them in owner. I mean,
We can
I
put
mean,
them, yeah. I
whatever
was
have
also
written
thinking
here.
in that manner only. It should come here only.
Correct. I mean, considering lack of time and only to give a gist of idea, I have only limited friends, limited number of people. And I might think, okay, particular stakeholder might fall here. Ram might think in a different way. Satya, Dr. Manoj might think in a different way. So there is no clear-cut right and no here. 2 + 2 =
But
4.
the way you have defined owner, we have to go by the definition. Who can stop the progress of your application of your idea? We have to see in that context, and then we can put it here.
Exactly. So whatever we see here are the major. However, there might be some changes here and there. So these are the indicative criteria. So
I think the way you have defined, we should stick to the definition and we should take a wise call on that.
exactly. That's advisable.
Thank you.
So there is an activity plan that's already around 320. So you have identified stakeholders. Is there a way to classify them? So on the left hand side, you see a matrix, a 2x2 matrix, power versus interest. Again, it's a typical management concept, but very important during the stakeholder mapping exercise that you apply it. Once you have enlisted all the stakeholders, probably you can park them into this bucket, that which stakeholder has a high power or high influence. Then some stakeholder who has a high power and high influence, what to do? engage closely and influence actively with them. Now, how to do it or how to find out what will help you to engage close and engage and influence actively? There is a tool called Persona, which we will cover tomorrow. Another stakeholder who has high power but very, very low interest. Okay, I have to keep him satisfied only. Now, what will keep that particular stakeholder satisfied? Persona will cover tomorrow again. Another stakeholder, low, very, very low on interest and low on power. So you may not need to spend more amount of energy on that. Just monitor, maintain a minimum effort to work with that stakeholder. But there is another stakeholder who has a very, very high interest, but very low on power. So you just keep him informed. So these are 4 strategies that are suggested that you, using these strategies, you engage with each individual stakeholder based on whether that stakeholder is a low power or a high power again. So that's one way to classify. The other way to classify where you don't know whether someone is a high power or low power is on the right hand side. Can you put them into a chunk, or can you put them into a particular group based on the roles or based on the kind of work, based on the background they do? For example, most developers is one stakeholder. Now within developer there are 4 or 5 people, yes, but all the developers probably they form a chunk, so that's one stakeholder. Infra, icons on the right, people who belong to the admin team, so they are one stakeholder. Or CTO, the CTO team, chief technology officer team, since they are hard into technology, they are technical geek, their needs and wishes will be different. That's another stakeholder. Or CFO, or dev and testing and other operations team, or team from IBM. So this is an indicative web. So one way to classify is on the left, if you know their power or interest, or the another way to classify is based on the kind of roles or the jobs they do. So this will help you to classify. Now, what to do after you classify a stakeholder? You engage with them. Now, what are the points of engagement? Tomorrow, my colleague Satyanathan will cover in detail on topic and also will do an activity on persona. But to do that, it is very important to first identify the stakeholder and probably classify it. And Cato is a good way to arrive at that. So I'll take another and explain a quick example. That imagine you are a project manager in a typical IT company. You are working on a particular X project, and like you, there are 10 different projects. So who all will be stakeholders here? Customers. You engage closely and actively influence, because customers hold a very high degree of interest. They have invested millions and millions into your project, millions of dollars, as well as they have the power. So customers becomes a stakeholder, but do all the customers fall there? No. Probably your customer at a very, very senior designation, he might fall here. You have to engage close and actively influence. But there will be 1 or 2 customers who might not be having high power but high interest. Probably you can keep him informed. But for a discussion point, I have assumed all the stakeholders are very important and I have parked it here. Then, since you are a project manager in an IT company, you will report to your delivery manager of your organization. Now, a delivery manager is in charge of many projects. He has a high power on you, but is your project very, very special? Yes. So no. If a project is very, very special, then the delivery manager will come here because he is taking very high interest in your project, plus he has high power. But if a project is like any other project, he has high power on you because you report to him. But is he showing very much interest? Probably no. So you have to kind of keep him satisfied. Right hand side, HR. But the HR per se might not be directly involved into day-to-day affairs of your project. She might not even high power when it comes to managing the IT project. But the HR has to be kept informed, because HR has high interest when it comes to the working of people, when it comes to actively who is working in a project or who is not, who is working actively, who is a leadership material, who is has potential. So as a project manager, it becomes very important that to keep your HR informed of it. And then there is a team member serving a notice period. Is he also a stakeholder? Yes. But he has low power because he's just a team member junior to you. Plus he has no interest because he's on the last, he's serving his notice period. So you just monitor, you just do a midterm effort. So yes, you are a project manager in an IT company. These are the 4 stakeholders. Just an indicative example for you to understand. Any questions now?
You can unmute and come in here if you have any queries. Feel free to do that.
I'll once you say questions, I'll also kind of explain what this gratitude forms is. It's one of our clients. Okay, since I assume there are no questions, I'll kind of continue and explain this form. So, our team is also working with a organization called as Gratitude Farms, and the business model of that organization is retired Jawans or retired army Jawans who face an early retirement, right? So once they go and they go back to their native, they many a times do the jobs which they actually don't like, but they are very much attached to the soil. They very much love their motherland, and many of them come from extremely rural parts of India and semi-rural parts of India who have an inclination for farming, who own a cultivable land, and who want to be associated with that. So what did Gratitude Farms do? They came up with a business model where organic food products like cereals, not cereals, but fruits, even small vegetables, good amount of even the exotic vegetables were cultivated by ex-servicemen and their family members who own a good amount of land, or else if they don't have a land, they will work with other landowners so that they can work and cultivate those crops. So Gratitude Farms takes crops from these ex-servicemen who become agriculturists, who become cultivators, and then they procure it and then they sell it to the customers, and everything is completely organic. So we are working with them on a design thinking project. So this is a slide on stakeholder identification which we had used it some time back. So who is a stakeholder for them? So for them this was a better way to classify resources. So who are the resources for Gratitude Farms? The ex-servicemen and the family members and the villagers. Many times these villagers also work in close with the retired army person to actually grow and cultivate. So these are the resources whose services will be used by Gratitude Farms. And who are the influencers for Gratitude Farms? Corporate were big influencers. Plus army welfare and resettlement departments were also big influencers, so that they can influence more and more ex-servicemen to avoid doing the jobs which they don't like and come back and be a part of the Gratitude Farm. So they called them as the influencers. Then who are the enablers? Landowners, them enablers. The investors, they are looking for venture capitalist funds, so they are the enablers for them. Local administrative authorities who kind of give a permission for cultivation and all. One also they fall under influencers. Infrastructure support, like they are also in touch with the Coimbatore-based company for a rain hose pipe. So these are the people who they call themselves as enablers when it comes to Gratitude Farms. And finally, consumers. Now, all are different people within consumers. I have stopped writing because there is a time limit, but consumers is a stakeholder for them. So this is a crude example of Gratitude comes when it comes to stakeholder identification. Now, quickly, I also spoke about how can L0 help you to arrive at stakeholders in case CATWO doesn't help, or in case you feel you need an additional help apart from CATWO. One way is to do via L0. Now, this is an Aadhaar slide which we saw, and this is the Aadhaar L0 which my colleague Dr. Rao covered pre-lunch. So, the legality of Aadhaar, he discussed in minute about the legal aspect. So, court and the judiciary, they'll become one stakeholder. Customers of stakeholder, Aadhaar, that's another stakeholder. Then communications and data exchange, if you see this fourth one, media, they'll also become a stakeholder. Operation elements and decision making, partners, senior members, they also become a stakeholder. IT system, this particular block, the application, software vendor and consultant, they also become a stakeholder. And then we saw IT system L1 where price became the common thing, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we small chunks within IT, within the application development as a stakeholder. So, and yeah, L2. So CATFO is there in case you feel you need to understand more stakeholders. You can also take a look at L0 and see, am I missing something, or is this a particular stakeholder? Is it being missed somewhere? Okay, I see 4 5 blocks related to it in my L0. These 4 5 blocks mean, do we need to work with that stakeholder? If you feel yes, right. So along with CATWO, L0 tool will also come handy in identifying and working those stakeholders. Now it's around 3:30. So Dr. Manoj, is it possible to do a small 10-minute, 15-minute activity here?
Yeah, so no issue. Please go ahead.
So what I want you to do is not no team activity. It's an individual activity, paper pen based activity. You can do it sitting wherever you are. Just imagine that you are in charge of a college canteen project. You are in charge of a college canteen project, and the college canteen is not giving a good eating or a dining experience. You are in charge of revamping it completely, end to end. When I say revamp, means right from scratch. So, who are all stakeholders for you? Who are all the customers? Who are all the actors? What's the transformation you want to do? Who are all the customers you think beyond your own canteen set who might get affected or who might you need to work? Who are all the owners that will help enable, pause, transform this transformation, and what constraint that you can identify that will come as a roadblock here, or who are all the stakeholders in the constraint part? Just imagine that you are a college canteen in charge of canteen, and just write. I mean, don't type in chat. Just take a pen and paper and try to write it. And when I said customers, don't just mean students or don't just mean faculty. Try to find or decompose each stakeholder. So is there how many number of stakeholders are good? There is no clear cut right and no answer, just like user needs. The more you visualize, the better it is. So I'll keep this slide permanent so that in case you need to refer, you can take a look at it. Or in case you have doubt, me, Ram, Satya, we are available. We'll be happy to. We'll take
So we
around.
will have this activity for next 10 minutes and then we start interacting with the
Like you
participants.
can take it's what time it is, around 3:30, right?
My clock. So if we can interact at say 3:45%.
But we'll
Or
take 3:45 will come back. So 10 roughly 10
3:40.
minutes. Yeah,
Okay. So 3:45 onwards we will start interacting. In the meantime, through chat box you can clear your doubt. But what Ramnath ji is saying, don't write your answer. Keep your pen or paper thing, and then once your name will be called or when you volunteer to share your views, you can do that.
definitely that will help. Yeah.
Thanks. And though the attendance link has been shared, we request you to participate in this activity. Some good participation and all. Thank you. It's 3:47. So shall we start? Ramnath ji, are you?
Yes,
I-
yes.
Yeah.
What I'll do, Dr.
So
Manoj,
shall we take some?
yeah,
Yeah.
I'll stop sharing my screen because slides will anyway.
Yeah. No issues, no issues. So that we can see them face to face. So now I will ask all the participants. So please come one by one. Those who wants to come first, if you wish, you can raise your hand so that I can call your name. Or if you want, you can straight
Sir,
away
this is
unmute
Alok
and come
Mishra,
in.
sir.
Yes, sir. Mishra ji, please come in.
So in fact, I have gone through only two right now, two portions that are for the customers. Am I
Okay,
audible
sir.
for customers?
Sir, if you don't mind, if you keep your video on, that will be good so that we can see each other.
Thank you, sir. Am I visible, sir?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
It's audible as well.
So
yes.
for the for the customers, what I feel is that is faculty and the student. They comes under a category that is those who want to avail the canteen facility. And customers may involve mess workers, mess manager, security persons, and utility suppliers. Maybe the gas suppliers, maybe the electricity suppliers. These are the customers as far the point is concerned. As far the actor is concerned, this is the whole college or the actor, particularly the principal or the dean of that college, followed by the mess manager, sir. The third aspect, that is transformation, is concerned. Then we may go for the development of an app, or we may revamp the notice board pertaining to the canteen, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir, it's a great, definitely a good start for the first attempt. But sir, you kind of missed one stakeholder, corporate people. Let's assume me and Dr. Ram, if we definitely try to visit our college. What if we also want to have lunch with the students or have eating experience discussion with you? So corporate customers are also in stakeholder. Are as a customer, because some of the other day we also will be using your app. Sorry, we will be using your canteen.
So in fact, I have mentioned the faculty, and I have cleared even the stakeholder corporate, those who want to avail canteen facility. I have clubbed in this in one single slot, sir. Maybe the students, maybe the faculty, maybe whomsoever want to avail the facility. In fact, sir.
Definitely. Great.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I think we have few hands raising. I think Kedara Gauri, you can come in, please.
Hello, sir.
Please go ahead.
The customers are students, staff, and the providers for the canteen. Then the actors here are students, staff that comprises of teaching staff and non-teaching staff. Then the producers who actually produce to the canteen. Then the cooks, servers, cleaners, and the food inspectors as well. So the transformation is about the quality and quantity, where the quality is for the fresh food that is, and the quantity is the affordableness, where the prices are to the limited point where anyone can purchase them. And the world view will be, it's a either the 5-star experience for the student, staff, or whoever is in the whoever is using the canteen. Or you can also say that the meals that is equivalent to the quality of the food that is prepared at home. And the owners are the college management, food inspectors, and all these depend upon the complaints that are received from the student and the staff. So that's mainly the focal point. And the environmental constraints are the legal one, which is about the permissions or the contracts that are supposed to be held with. The political issues are with the local or the college politics that are being involved. Then the ethical is about the quality of the food, which is to be produced with no adulteration. Then the regulations are when they are given the chance, they have to utilize the opportunity to make their best efforts so that they get the chance once again. Then the norms is all these that are kept as benchmark. So whoever comes next will have them as a benchmark where they have to at least meet the expectations of the students. Like whatever they did, we have to do like them. Or if they get the same chance once again, they have to keep themselves as the benchmark where when once we did it like this, so even this time we have to do like this. Then the financial price situations here are the salaries, expenses, the stock, the deals, the sales, or whatever kind of free perks that are given to the students or the faculty, which enhances them to go to the canteen often. So all these are what all they are my thoughts, sir.
I think great, ma'am. It's quite. I think exhaustive.
Yes, yes, she has done a very exhaustive work. Great, man, great.
I think, sir, for transformation, something which requires a lot of skill, because for C, A, and D, for writing the T part, it is very crucial.
Exactly,
That is what I
exactly.
think, ma'am. Anjali wants to come in, ma'am. You please come in, Anjali, ma'am.
I just want to focus on transformation part where I would like to give student experience like Swiggy and all, like online payment transactions. So bank will be one of the more party which can be added in the list.
Correct, correct. Okay, it's a very interesting point.
Yeah, that's
Definitely.
great. That's great. It's something totally new.
When we said revamp, we had kind of given an open canvas to you. Revamp
Great.
in terms of anything, you had kind of taken that visualization to
Yeah,
like app kind of
true,
thing.
true. We can compare it to the food court we have in the bigger malls and all. We can go up to that level. There's no
Exactly.
limit to that. Yeah,
Great, man.
that's
Great.
great. I think we have some great answers coming in the chat. I think chat box also. Do we have Anand sir here? Oh, so Anand sir is asking for attendance. Sorry, maybe some technical issue. I thought he say something here. Sorry. If somebody wants to come in here, you can feel free to come in. We'll take one more thing. It is 3:54. So
Correct,
we
correct.
have time to accommodate one more participant here. Thank you.
Ram wants to say, but he's on mute.
Sorry. I just wanted to read a comment on the chat window. Saurabh
Yeah.
Mahajan would like to state under worldview, he would like to add automation and cleaning robots.
Okay. Oh, that's something. Good. Great.
Ma'am, sir, my name is Tilakam. I want to add in last point.
Yeah.
Other shop vendors around the surrounding that canteen can also be can stop or cancel the change the service, sir. Canteen services.
So, ma'am, where do
They
you want to
can
keep this?
have the ability to stop.
Where do you want to keep them?
Owner who can stop that
No,
who can
but that will
change the
not be owner.
environmental
You can
view.
put it in the last E part, I think.
Exactly.
Go to E part, which can treated as owner. But if you can think of
Sir,
putting them in the constant part,
Environmental
constant will be there.
constraints,
Yes.
environmental constraints. Yes,
They,
So
they can be
the-
put there. They can be put there.
other vendors of surrounding the service.
Yeah. We can
Yes, sir.
put them there.
Yes, sir.
That's
So
Thank you.
this
Yes,
is
sir.
Dr. Sheila.
Yeah, ma'am, please.
Just one point to add under transformation, which is waste to energy. Maybe the kitchen waste can be used as to promote biogas that can be used there.
That's fantastic. Means you're talking about the T part. In this transformation part, you want to
Yes.
add this line. Oh,
Yes.
that's great, man. That's great.
That's great. So, but when you think about biogas, okay, you will also think, okay, but there will be a couple of other stakeholders. You may wish because you have made
No,
a change.
that's why when you write the T, sir, when you write the T, then
Correct.
you have to think over it, because with this T, you have to just add some more stakeholder to that.
Exactly. So today we will Dr. Manoj Anil will share the link. So today we have planned 2 exercises for you. Both of them will cover each tool, so that the problem statement is also given in the link. Just we'll also share the slides in some time. go through the slides, go to the video recording, and try to apply these concepts into the assignment exercise. So okay, it will kind of help you revise and get a hands-on.
That's great. Do we have somebody more to come in here, or shall we formally close this particular session here? Just to inform, I will be sharing the feedback link for the day. It is for all the 3 sessions, and the homework part, the assignment to be covered on the basis of the 3 sessions we had done today. That will be shared through our WhatsApp group, and PPTs and YouTube video link will be shared through email, the way we did it in the last evening. Okay. So
Correct.
anybody else wants to come in, or for the very last time we can go through the chat box if you wish? No, I think we don't find anything there. So with this, thank you, Ramnath. You could see one comment. It is quite collaborative. That's why not much queries are coming. You are not left any room for that. So it is fantastic, quite elaborative. It's just a matter of applying it. So unless
True.
somebody will get a real life problem and then they can apply, they will really get. And once we are going to share this PPT with all of them, they will keep it with them forever. I think that is required. I could see the kind of effort you have put in your PPT. It's
Thank
great,
you.
sir. Thank you to Ram Kritishan, sir. Also, you are always there with us because your presence also supports us. So thank you to both of you, and looking forward to see you. And as we all agreed, tomorrow morning first session will be from industry expert, and Ramnath is going to enter that. Okay. With this high note,
I have a
yeah,
request. Can I say something?
yeah, please go ahead.
Can we all also keep in touch through LinkedIn if that is
Yeah,
okay?
yeah, no issue. I will be sharing their LinkedIn contact number. I planned to give it at the last day because I will be compiling all the speakers in one place and I will share it with you all. You can do that.
Sure.
There's
Thank
no
you
issue.
so much. Because
Okay.
time to time, I think we will seek guidance from you.
Yeah,
And, keeping in touch
no
will
issue.
matter a
There's no
lot.
issue.
Thank you.
Anytime, anytime.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Yeah,
Excuse me,
please.
sir. Actually, I don't have the WhatsApp link. I don't have the group.
Which link you are talking about, ma'am?
What?
Any WhatsApp group is created, sir? That's I'm
Yeah,
asking.
it has been. I have sent email 4 days ago. You can check your spam folder for that. You might have got that in your spam folder. So you're not
Okay.
already 162 people are there. So you can please join that group.
Okay, okay.
Dr.
Thank you,
Manoj,
sir. Thank you,
one
sir.
more request.
Yeah.
In the morning session, I missed to enter my attendance.
No
If
issue,
that
ma'am.
is
I think I have
possible.
already answered few of your participants. I could see your name. I don't claim that I have a very good memory, but I know the names and all. So if there is
just in case I have
if there is an
missed
issue of one or two
request.
attendance, I will manage. Because
Thank you
I'm
so
here for you people only. So our only thing is that just participate in this sessions and try to learn and grow along with us. I do agree there is some compliance required from AICT side, and I will be there for that. No issues for me. And on this note, I think it is 4.4. So yeah, please go ahead, sir. We could not see you, sir. If you can keep your video on, you used to keep your video on. Yeah, sir. There is an issue in audio, sir. You can please check it. It's coming with a lag, sir. If you can correct it, we are here only. Please check your audio and then you can comment. Balachandra, sir, I think he's facing some internet issue. I could see many of you are putting this request that you could miss putting attendance. No issues. I am here for that. I will take care of that. But if you want to say beyond that, you can feel free to comment. Yes, sir, please. No, still we could not hear you, sir. I think Dr. VG Bhagirath has put worldview as, I think, healthcare, something. Let's check it. Healthcare. So can we ask him to come in and share his view why he wants to put healthcare as a worldview in this problem? Sir, are you with us, sir? You can unmute and come in here, sir. VG Bhagirath, sir, you can come in and share your view. In the meantime, Balachandra, sir, will check his audio. VD Bhagirath sir, can you hear us? You can unmute and come in, sir. You have put a very interesting thing in chat box that in world you propose to have healthcare. So it's something very new. We just want to hear it from you. Why do you want to add there? Maybe.
Hello.
Yeah, I think so.
Sir,
Yes, sir. Please go ahead. Yes, sir. So please come.
Namaste, sir.
Namaste.
Sir, regarding
Yes, sir.
in
Yes, sir.
recent trend, everyone are facing with health, and people are worried. So the world is viewing with healthcare with respect to both financial condition as well as health. So that is why my perspective with healthcare.
So in worldview or in your T session, transformation statement, you will going to emphasize on the quality of food and the hygiene environment to be maintained in the canteen. I think you're trying to say that.
Yes.
Correct, sir.
So you just put this in the transformation and accordingly add some more stakeholders.
Okay, sir.
That
Okay.
should be the way. Because it may not go in worldview, but it will definitely find a place in transformation.
Correct,
Okay, sir.
correct,
Then
correct.
you can add stakeholders. Okay,
Thank you.
yeah, thank you so much for coming in, sir. I think Balachandra sir, can you check now? Can we hear you now? Let's try. I think this is also a DT problem, design thinking problem, internet issue in this COVID era. How to get a solution to it? It is a wicked problem. It is a wicked problem.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely.
He has anyway typed in chat. I guess my suggestion and request was
Okay, we can go through. Yeah, please.
my suggestion.
My suggestion and request was not avoid homeworks and let's go ahead with exercise when expert on board, please. Not to have, I think you were trying to not to have homework and let's go with exercise when the expert on. So you can, yeah, you just give a view here. I think he may be saying that why don't do it in a live session. So you can put your views on that.
He agrees. He agrees.
You are the teacher. Please go ahead. What is the concept behind this homework exercise and all?
The concept behind this was in case we give too much of focus on activities we can do, but time is of a constraint, right? We have to end the session at 4, we have to end the session at 1 for a lunch, we have to end the session. So time is of a constraint here. So the intention behind was do one activity in class, do a similar activity at home, and anyway we are there available the next day. I mean, each day we begin with a ritual. What are our insights? What are the reflections? In case you do an application at homework, and in case you have doubt, anyway there the next day to clear it. So that was the intention of giving each homework.
True. So the content to be covered will be gone down if we take this exercise on board during the live session.
Yes.
The two-way process. I think Balachandra sir will appreciate that. Some effort has to be taken by participants also. Yeah, please. Who wants to come in? Sonali madam wants to come in. Dr. Sonali Pradhan, do you want to come in, ma'am?
No, sir. Actually, I'm searching for that particular link. I don't find that.
Which link you are talking about, madam?
Sir, that
Attendance.
group actually. No,
Okay,
that
group. Okay, no issue, ma'am. Yeah. Can you tell me your mail ID now only? I will search your mail ID and I will share this.
Okay, ma'am. Sir, I can write here.
Yeah, you please write on your mail ID in the box. I will do that.
Yes.
Okay, so with this, I think we are already overshoot the time by 5 minutes. Thank you so much, Ramnath ji and Ramkishan Ramani ji. I think it's always to have you. We'll keep on interacting for the coming 3 days. And I will wait for your mail for PPTs and all, so that I will end up the day by doing all these things. So in the meantime, I have already uploaded 2 videos, session 1 and session 2. The third video will go in next half an hour. And I think I have already shared this link and PPT with you. You also got that. I keep both of you on CC doing. So if you can see this video, I hope. Ramnath ji, have you got that? Yeah.
Yes, yesterday.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining and have a nice day to all of you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.